Well, hi, good morning. Thank you so much for joining me in my shop here. Today is January 14th. My gosh, we're halfway through January already. And the snow is supposed to be coming. Well, maybe. Could be as much as 30 centimeters today. But maybe not. We're kind of on the fringe of things here. So, in front of me, I've got a very interesting receiver. It's a Heathkit receiver. It may have been built commercially, or it may have been built as a kit, probably built as a kit. Heathkit equipment, I've built a fair bit of it over my lifetime, and I consider it to be very good. The equipment, I think, has a great reputation, so there's really good reason to think this is probably a very good sounding receiver. Probably mono. Wait a minute, it says stereo right there. So let's take a look at the front of it. Anyway, we'll see what we got here. So we've got two identical knobs on either end. We've got an FM band and an AM band, and there's two pointers. There's a pointer here and a pointer there. Oh my gosh, there's two magic eyes in here. There's one here and one here. Okay. So this is tuning the AM side of things. This is tuning the FM side. Very good. Oh, I have a visitor I don't get much anymore. My big black cat has come in. Shadow, what's going on today? Where are the little guys? Shadow's not getting along with our new little cats all that well. It's not bad. It's not terribly good. She keeps telling them, keep your distance. Keep your distance, little cats. Okay, yeah, we just in case maybe this is the first video of mine you've watched. So we have three cats in this house. The black cat you just saw, and two orange cats that are new joiners. They've only been here for a few months, and they're liable to show up at some point here. Okay, back to what we were doing. So, two tuning knobs. The outside knob is the same as the inside knob. They're just to make it a little easier to tune, I guess. Sounds a little rattly to me. That's better. We've got AM fidelity, normal, and maximum. What? AM fidelity, normal, and maximum. It's a switch. Why would you not, what is maximum fidelity? Maybe it's kind of like a loudness control of some sort. Mode selector, AM, stereo, FM. So I don't think this set can produce stereo. My guess is it produces an output that will go to another device to split the channels, a demodulator. So it's a model AJ-11. FM, AFC. There's another strange control here. Off, half, or full. Half AFC. Half automatic frequency control. A little bit out of control still. Kind of weird, why wouldn't you want it to be full? Power switch on and off. We'll make sure it's off. Okay, so that's the front panel. Come around to the back here. Fuse, AM antenna. Let's see, that's a couple. It looks like there's an FM antenna somewhere. So it says FM for these two screws, AM over here, AM and ground. Yeah, a wire hooked up to the ground side and a wire hooked up on the FM side. Okay, we have something called FM level and AM level. Maybe these are to balance the volume controls on the front, so they have similar operation on the front. Then we have three outputs here. Output, FM, multiplex, and AM. Yeah, so if you want to listen to something in stereo, you need more equipment plugged into this multiplex output. So both channels are here, but they're still multiplexed together at this point and need to be divided in a demultiplexer. Is that a word? So I guess if we, so that's kind of weird, eh? FM and AM. Is there not really like a switch in front? FM, AM and FM. So why two separate outputs? How's that supposed to work? If I'm gonna feed this to an amplifier and feed this to another amplifier, different amplifier? Okay, I don't get why they've done this. But that won't stop us from trying it out. Should I pull it out, or should we just give it a test as it is? Well, let's give it a test as it is, because even pulling it out, I could do something to it, and then do that. So let's find out what it does, just like this. I'm going to take a short break. We'll hook this up to the sound system and see what it does. Okay, we're going to find out if this guy works. Now you can see the phone cords I've plugged in here. FM, AM. AM is the white one. This goes over into my soundboard that I operate my microphones with. That's this board here. And I need to put on these headphones so I can hear what you're hearing. Okay. So I'm going to turn these up. The set is not on. We're just going to find out if there's hums and stupid stuff. Ooh. Okay, some stupid stuff there. What's going on here? This is the red line. Why is this one so quiet? Okay, bear with me a moment. I see what it is. Okay, so all I'm going to do is a flip. So this can either feed to a microphone input or a line input. I had one on microphone and one on line. Now they're both on line because there should be a line output here. Not online as in online, but online as in on the line. Okay, I think that's all we need to do. So the AM antenna, I don't know if this is connected correctly or not. It doesn't look like it. There's nothing on the AM screw. The FM one is hooked up to what I think is a lead to the AM one. I don't really know. I have the feeling this brown wire here simply comes to these two terminals, and then your FM antenna is supposed to go off from there. And that these wires are I don't know what, are connected to this. Most radios, the loop antenna is connected all the time, and external antenna like this is an augmentation or an additional thing. We'll find out as we go, I think. Okay, I got these levels set kind of in the middle, roughly in the middle. I don't know what they're doing. Okay, will this even work? I don't know. Now, I'm not plugging this into a regular outlet. I'm plugging it into a isolation transformer, and also I'm going to be feeding the power here through some light bulbs in what's called a dim bulb system, if you like, but it's really not much of a system to it. Okay, don't know what to expect. I'll put the volumes here. Okay, there's no hum or anything. I'm going to leave the volumes up. I think I will do this and do that. So the red wire, well, it won't matter really. The FM is on the right channel, but the right channel, well, right channel where? Right channel to start. Is there no volume control on here? There's no volume control. There's just this AM fidelity. AM fidelity. Well, let's put it on normal. That's where it is. Okay, and I've got both volumes up, so conceivably both radios work, the AM and the FM, at the same time. And we're going to hear something in the left channel, something in the right channel. Maybe. Okay, I think we're set. So first of all, with the switch off, it's off. Apply power. This is to make sure the off switch does really turn it off. It does seem to do, since it didn't come on. Okay. Power's off now. Switch is on. I tried to turn it up. There's no turning up. There we go. Now watch the dim bulbs. We'll see what happens here. Oh, wasn't that exciting? Let's just turn this down over here. Boy, I'd make you jump. Wow. I thought I was being electrocuted there. Well, there's a panel light. One light, probably one here that's burned out. Magic eyes coming on. Magic eyes, this one's coming on too. These are small magic eyes. They look small. They have come on. Don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see it on camera. So we have 89, 90 volts supplied here. The rest of the voltage is dropping on those light bulbs. Give it a bit of time. It takes time to warm up when you reduce the supply voltage. It takes quite a while. Again, I've got both channels. Well, I've got them turned down now because of the incident. Let me zero out the tone controls over here on my sound panel, so we're not influencing that. I don't hear a thing. I don't hear a thing at all. Okay, I'm gonna guess 89 volts not enough. 90 volts not enough to make this guy work. So we're going to raise it now. Nothing bad appears to be happening. It's drawing a pretty good chunk of current though. That's keeping this bulb lit. Let me do this. Back this down, and then we're going to go full power here. See what we get this time. 90, 100. I thought for a moment I heard something click in here. I'm not hearing a thing. Okay, what can we do here to make some sound come out? First one is turn up the soundboard all the way over here. Nothing. Okay, so I'm going to flip to this setting. Okay. Now, one channel should be FM, the other should be AM. They do sound different. This does sound like FM to me. There's a humming. There's a hum here. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it on the AM side for a minute. And put it in the center like that. I need to apologize for volume issues. When I do this thing, I sometimes lose control of the volume. Okay, tune away on the AM side.
S'entendait jamais reflété dans les médias. Alors c'est normal,
860.
je pense, quand on a été
Je
mis...
pense. Where'd he go? It was there.
Réseaux sociaux.
Oh, over here now. Moving around.
Qu'avant, chacun était isolé dans son coin, et maintenant, il y a tout un ensemble de
Seems to be
personnes
moving
qui
around.
communiquent les unes.
Something is loose.
D'illusion d'ailleurs, parce qu'on a l'impression que les opinions sont majoritaires.
There's a huge play in this. Even though the pointer's moving, something else is not moving. Yeah, it's a gigantic but it's receiving. Okay, what about the FM side? So we'll change the soundboard now to the FM side. Put it in the middle. It's a nice white noise. Okay, what do we get?
So many applications to our lives in every direction, and then bring it back to what
Wow.
the ancient word. But the ancient word applies to us today, so don't neglect no.
Yes, that's a religious FM station. Yes. Not sure what that sound was.
I can give you what you want, but you got to come home to me. I've got some good.
Ooh, distorted there, didn't I
How do you
say?
feel? What does it do to you? It
You have
brings
100
tears to my
volts
eyes,
on here. Let's go a little higher.
And almost every time, because as you said, 20 years ago, I did not believe that we could be there today. But we are, and we're moving in the right direction, and that just fills me with intense joy and gratitude. As a people, we can do this, and I just really hope we can stay on track. This is a good story. I'm glad to share it with
That's the CBC.
I go for that.
Okay, well, that's kind of surprising in a way. It seems to be working really, actually, quite fine. Certainly not perfect, but better than I would have guessed. I didn't think this thing would work at all, really. 2 magic eyes, that's kind of cool. I'm not too impressed with the look of it, but it has a look. That's your Heathkit style stuff there. It's pretty interesting. What should I do to it? What should I do with it? I gotta think a bit about that. And I go have a little coffee and ponder what I should do with this thing. Okay, so I've been doing a little bit of research. I've gone to a couple of websites to look for information. The schematic for the AJ-11 I have not been able to find. This is from Radio Museum we're looking at right now. Did they change their website around? It just doesn't look at all the way I'm used to seeing things on this website. So it could be because there's no schematic here, and maybe this is how they present it. So that's the radio for sure. There's a bunch of pictures here of the same thing. Just many versions of it. This last one though shows it with the top off, so that's what we've got inside there. Okay, that's not really helping though. Click on the schematic thumbnail to request a schematic as a free document. Click on the schematic thumbnail. Well, that's a good one. Anyway, I haven't found the schematic yet, but I do have a schematic for a similar radio, the AJ-10, which may be almost identical to this. This is the one I've got is AJ-11. Looking at the tubes here under AJ-11 on this site, you see a couple of unusual tubes, 6EZ8 and 6CY5. These aren't very common. Everything else is relatively common. This is the magic eye here, the 6MES. There's 2 of them. Yeah, so this one in particular I think is quite rare. I don't think I've heard of that one before. Okay, so let's look at the schematic here. I think it would be this one here. This is split on 2 pages, so this is the left side of the schematic here we're looking at. This is the AM radio side, just looks like a regular AM radio, nothing out of the ordinary here. And then this is the FM front end, and this is where we find some of these tubes, 6CY5, 6EZ8. Other ones are fairly common, like a 6AU6 is quite common. So there could be a problem here if one of these were to go. Probably you can buy them over the internet though. Here's the power supply. We've got 150 volt capacitors here. That's a little odd. Wouldn't this be a higher voltage to Do they actually state the voltage here somewhere? There, 125. Well, that's surprising. Yeah, that's a little lower than what I would expect in a radio like this. And then here's all the tubes. At least the heater here. We'll go down to the next right-hand side of the diagram. This is the AM radio. AM tuning. There's magic eye here. Output level. Output level. So where's the output? Where's the actual output? Here, A, B, and C. A, B, or FM, multiplex, and AM. This switch here, I guess. This is a switch. You got it showing in a stereo position. Kind of indicates why stereo's in the middle. Just the way the switch is constructed here. Yeah, because there's no audio amplifier, like power amplifier. It's quite simple, really. Ratio detector for the FM side. Here's the tube lineup again. Got a capacitor, coil here. We got some stuff going on. And some notes. Indicates chassis feed-through capacitor. Indicates chassis feed-through capacitor. Single slug, bottom slug, top slug. Interesting. Okay. Well, there we are. This is probably a valid enough schematic to be used with, even though this is the AJ-10. It's probably virtually identical to the AJ-11. Well, let's take this one out of its cabinet. We'll see what it looks like. Okay, I've taken out the 4 bottom screws that are holding things together, and somebody's going to come off somehow. There we go. Okie dokie. What do we got? So we have the AM side, and this is probably the FM side here, and the FM tuner is located here. Somebody's taken the time to write 6CY5 there. That's what that tube is. Another tube in here with a cover on it. All the tubes are covered in this radio. There's the 2 magic eyes sticking out here. Okay, not too much to see up on top. Let's look underneath now. Maybe there's a, I think there's a bottom panel. How should I turn this? It's pretty solid. I think I'm going to turn it up this way. Here. Pretty stable. This. Okay, we got a big bottom plate. Screw. Just 2 screws holding this? That's a little hard to believe. An awful lot of screw holes here. Screws missing everywhere. That's what's going on. So there are only 2 screws holding this into the cabinet. Or 4 rather. There seemed to be room for 6. 2. There we are. It's lovely looking. What makes it lovely? Well, I don't see any wax capacitors. Let's look a little closer here. Is there a light underneath here? Why would there be? These 2 lights are underneath. So they're trying to shine straight. They're trying to shine straight up into this plastic, and I think neither one of them is aligned properly. So, and what I mean by that is the filament in the light bulb, the actual point where the light is coming out, or bit of filament, has to be lined straight along with the alignment of the dial face glass. It's got to be glass. So we can certainly fix that up. And we know one of these was burned out anyway. So these are probably the main filter capacitors here. 150 volts. There's a diode right there. And there's another larger filter capacitor that's kind of sticking up on top here. It's a metal canned one. I find those things have long lives if they're in a metal can. I think Heathkit was known for good components, if this was built by a person like me, they did a really good job on it. There's no question about it. This is a really good job done here. My guess is this was built in the factory. Just looking at it, it looks too good. There's a diode here and a diode here, and they're two different types of diodes. That says something. Somebody get changed there? I don't see why they would have two different types in the power supply. That doesn't make sense. Anything else in here that looks to be replaced? The answer would be no. There are some molded capacitors here, which sometimes are not much more reliable than paper wax ones. Well, it's in really good shape. I'm not sure I need to do anything at all under here. Although I'm curious about this situation. Why don't we look again at the schematic and at the power supply, just see if we can spot these diodes. Here we are. Okay, here's the power supply. Here's the two diodes. Why would they ever be different? 200 milliamp, D1, D2. You're not going to see anything here that, well, like they haven't labeled these any further. I don't think there's a parts list. I didn't see a parts list. I just can't imagine that there's some difference between these two on purpose. And what the difference would be, what? Well, I mean, typically, you know, these are all silicon diodes. The forward voltage drop is going to be the same, 0.7, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8 if you really jam a lot of current through them. My only guess is one of these failed and it got replaced, and that's a little odd too, because you would think for the cost of a diode and the effort to get to this point, they would change both on the basis if one failed, the next one's going to go too. Very odd to me. How do we know for sure both these are working? If one of them was open circuited, I think that would result in a hum in the power supply. It'd be quite noticeable, because you'd be going to half wave rectification, you'd drop in voltage too. Hard to say for sure without actually testing them more directly. A couple pilot lights. Yeah, no, well, yeah, there you are. Well, now we got to stop and think a bit. Let's go back and look at it some more. Yeah, jumping in here and changing stuff. There's no indication that any of it needs to be changed. It looks to be all original except for this diode thing. Or maybe there's one or two other things in here that have been changed that's not jumping out at me at all. This is a coil in here or something like that. So what about these diodes? Well, let's take a closer look at them. See if we can see if they were actually replaced or not. How would you know for sure? By looking at the soldering. You know, I'd like to say the blue one would be the new one. Look at the symbol on here. Aren't they supposed to be pointing in the same direction? Huh. Everything else looks good. Okay, look at the soldering and ponder. Oops. I don't like the automatic focus. Well, there's nothing here screaming I was put in by somebody other than the factory guy. There's just nothing in here yelling that out. Why these two? And like, am I misinterpreting the diagrams there, or have I got my head turned around? A little bit of chunk coming out of that capacitor. Well, let's follow the circuit a little bit. So you can see one is going to ground. One is going to ground? One is going... what's going on here? So, let's see, the negative of this upper capacitor is tied to what looks like a chassis terminal. And so is that diode on the chassis terminal. The two diodes are tied together. What are they doing then? I guess this terminal strip is it's turned sideways, so they're coming over to this red wire. I must have my head screwed on wrong about diodes and how they work in a power supply. Okay, I'm just probably wrong. So you see it coming out of the transformer, and then it meets these two diodes. Yeah, one way, one the other way. I guess that makes sense. And then one diode to the chassis. What? This capacitor is a grounded capacitor, right? It's a metal. It's a bare metal. It's just grounded. There's nothing. It's not isolated from the chassis at all. Oop, almost knocked over the radio there. Let's take a look again at the schematic and just. I'm probably just turned around here. Let's go look at the schematic. Yeah, I'm turned around. You can see they are in different directions, of course. Okay. We don't know what went on here, why there's two different diodes there. Set appears to be working. One of them is straight to ground. You can see it right here. Excuse me. So it's all, regardless of what was going on in my head, it all makes good sense. Okay, and the thing works too. Let's straighten out those lights a little bit. I could do that. Let's do that. Whoops, that's the wrong camera. Okay, so it's a simple matter of just bending these light bulbs. Oh, one of them's not working. This one here was not working. There we go. I got to try to find a light bulb to replace this, and I'm really short on them. This bulb looks fine. Looks completely fine. And don't you know it? I don't even have a. Oh, let's use this meter. A little bit of overkill on the meter, but okay. So we'll set this on resistance. Pretty sure this was not, maybe this is just so far out of alignment that you couldn't even tell the light was on. Okay. So I'm looking straight up. I can see the panel of glass, and I can see where the filament is, and this has to go. Oh, this is really tight. This has to go way over. there. This one has to go over also. People think these lights are just going to kind of generally cast lights, but there's really more to it. They're trying to send the light right up the right up. Okay. And of course, the filament. You know, if this were the filament could be like that, or it could be like that. That's another issue. In this case, it's like that, and in this bulb, it's like that. So they've actually arranged it maybe on purpose, so the filament would be like that. Okay, wow, that's my repair. We fixed the lights. We fixed the lights. Let's see if it did anything. Any different, and I can't say I took a really close note of what it looked like before. We have no connection to anything, so you can't hear anything here. Come down here. So, I mean, the front panel is a big selling point. The front panel is what people look at, of course. We're plugged in and ready to go. Switch is off. Okay, power on. Just gonna just set the lights off a little bit like that. What happens? Here we go. Oh, it's poopy. It's crapola. Oh, there we go. It came on really late. I don't think it's having much effect. What did I just hear? I heard a snapping sound in there. Well, I gave it a shot. Actually, maybe it is a little bit better. I mean, you can see the light over here now. What if we just darken down my whole shop here? Okay, here we go. Lights off. No, it's not got the effect I'm looking for, because the light bulbs are lighting the backing plate, and yeah, okay, maybe it was all crap I was telling you anyway, all baloney. Not baloney in some radios for sure. In these classic old tube radios, that's not very much of a description, Jim. Multi-band radios with a big glass dial. For sure, the light is intended to go into the glass edge, and then the print on the front just pops right out. Like it's really something to see. You kind of wonder, how did they do that? Wow, that's how they did it back then. Nowadays, of course, we use a totally different approach. Seems to me the only thing that I can do to this that would be respectable is an attempt at an alignment, and I would only attempt that if I have pretty detailed alignment instructions, particularly for the FM side of things, and no doubt they exist. We're running this with 83 volts on it right now. That's pretty low. Well, it is what it is. I don't like the way it's lit, but it is what it is. Okay, power off. Yeah, I think the only thing I can do for this set that would in any way help it out is a bit of alignment work. And like I say, I need the detailed instructions for that. So I'm going to see if I can find those. Look what I found. I found the original assembly manual for stereo monophonic AM/FM tuner AJ-11. Here it is. I got this from a website called Electrotania, which I believe is in Russia, but I'm not sure of that. And that's very, very helpful. I have a lot of schematics of things that you can't find anywhere else. Let's put it that way. So here we are. What I'm interested in is the alignment. Here we are here. Initial test, AM front alignment, FM front end alignment with instruments, FM alignment without instruments. Whoa. Installation operation. Yeah, somebody's going to put this kit together in their home, and this is the only thing they're going to have. So how are they going to align it when they have no instruments? Well, there must be a way. So we're going to get down to page 42 is really where I want to get to. Let's just zoom through it here. introduction, circuit description, construction notes. Well, that's kind of neat. Okay, if you've done a Heathkit, you know these are really, really well done. Okay, we'll go through. This is the actual assembly part. We'll zoom through that. Yeah, too bad this company kind of blew up. It was bought out, and the new owners didn't give a hoot about it, and it basically got destroyed. Here we are. Initial tests. So AM front without instruments. With instruments. I'll get my guitar. FM alignment without instruments. Whoop, where's the with instruments? Did I miss that? Well, here we are. No, AM and AM front end alignment with instruments. FM without instruments. Whoop. There's not much to do. Oh, here we are. There's still not much to do. What about if you have the instruments? I have the instruments. What happened? I don't know. There's some instructions on the antennas here. Let's take a look at this. So you see these two wires coming out? They should be on the FM connection. And not, I got one on FM and one on ground. And so this is just an internal FM thing hooking up to the to this wire which is running up to the tuner. Okay. What are they showing here? Same thing. Oh, they're showing how to hook up the multiplexing device or demultiplexing device. So how to make a an antenna here, I believe. FM antenna. Showing, well, I've made quite a few of these. 5 feet. AM tuning, FM tuning. This is just instructions. What's going on here? FM AFC switch. Switch is located in front panel. Full position provides maximum AFC action. This position is used to hold a very weak FM station. It should be used only when the half position allows the tuner to drift off. Half position. Off position eliminates it entirely and should always be used when tuning an FM station. If the FM AFC switch is left in the full or half position when tuning or changing stations, it's possible to completely skip over a wanted station or to tune to the edge of a station rather than the center. Okay. FM level. This control adjusts the output audio level of the FM signal. So it's kind of like the volume control. In case of difficulty. Ooh. Okay. Usually, one of these lines should, in case of difficulty, stop and drink some coffee. Okay, we got a troubleshooting chart. Service information. I'm not sure we can take it to the factory anymore. And the warranty. I'm not sure they're going to honor that. And a blank page. Oh, here's the schematic. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, we got everything we need here. Oh, what's this? This is an additional page. Some added goodies on the end of the file here. Oh, these would be fold-outs. Some of these would be fold-outs in the construction manual. And so somebody's taken the time to somehow get them scanned and into this document. Complete FM alignment procedure using a sweep generator, marker generator, and oscilloscope. This is probably what I'm going to attempt. Attempt is the word too. So they somehow hid this down at the very end. I don't know why, but they did. Okay. So it's been a while since I've aligned an FM radio, and so I always find it challenging. Let's go back to looking at the bench here. Okay, so the story is I've got all the information I need to work on this radio. I don't think there's any component work that's needed. There's no indication of that. So we're just going to skip that whole part and just do an alignment on this and make its performance as good as possible. Sometimes when you go to do alignment or stuff like that, then you start discovering problems that need to be attended to. But for now, we're going to assume she's in pretty good shape. Wow. Great. Fantastic. Okay, well, I'm off to have what am I going to do today? Wait for the snow to fall, clear my driveway again. That's probably what's going to happen. And have a good day otherwise. And I hope you have a good day too. See ya.